Okay guys, so I do have the space heater here. It just basically helps keep the area at a certain temperature, about between 70 and 75 degrees is what most seeds like when they're starting to germinate. And I didn't have a heating pad that was large enough for this whole space to kind of heat everything up. So that's why I did it that way. I took off the saran wrap already, and I put the saran wrap on top because basically it acts like a greenhouse. So what it does is it helps hold in the moisture of all the plants, and it also helps them hold in the heat, which helps their germination. So what I'm going to do now that that's kind of happening is I'm going to cut like small pieces out of what I already have to kind of fill in everything that hasn't started already, so that way there's not something on top of the ones that I already have. And so right now I have a lot of sprouts already started, and I only started about a week ago. So I have everything from Brussels sprouts and melons, some broccoli and different kinds of tomatoes, to my basil starting to come up, my kohlrabi, that kind of stuff. I also have a lot of my salad greens that are coming up. So Swiss chard, arugula, mustard greens, spinach, those kinds of things are all starting to pop up. With the salad greens, I probably could have already started those outside. However, since I'm testing, not just to get plants started, but I'm also testing the viability of the seeds that I have, I thought it would be better to do it this way. And so, one last thing about it, you'll notice that like I'm kind of using my hand and I'm gently going over the top of them. So what I'm doing is I'm actually basically simulating like I'm the wind. So what that does is it encourages the plants to develop deep roots that are going to hold them in the ground and to develop strong stems. So that way, as they're getting tall, reaching out to the sun, they're not getting real leggy, is what we call it, where they're like super long stems. It looks like they've grown a ton, but the issue is that they're growing so fast that their stems are not going to be able to support the plant eventually. So anytime that I go past, I try to kind of simulate the wind. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to talk about, in my next video, I'm going to talk about how I'm going to take this, right, which is what I've planned as far as what's in the trays. I'm going to talk about how I take my seeds and my planting chart and how I actually draw up a garden plan from where I'm going to put things outside.